Starring Bela Day in.
But, Ma, that's my favorite movie. Oh, well, all right. But don't you spend too much time in front of that TV, do you hear me? Yes, Ma. Everybody scream. Everybody scream. It's almost Halloween. Everybody scream. Everybody scream. It's almost Halloween. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of my podcast. But, Ma, that's my favorite movie. Halloween edition. All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a special episode today because we are going to be concluding this little spooky series. I haven't necessarily named a spooky series, but for all of the month of October, I have been doing October themed episodes because it does feel mildly appropriate. Well, not mildly, fully appropriate to be talking about stuff that pertains to spooky season, spooky month, October, Spooktober, whatever you like to call it, okay? So today's episode is titled But Ma, that's my favorite Halloween movie. And I am your host, B. Lede. So, before we get into what our theme means today, of course, you know I have to thank all my peeps out there. So, if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for coming back. You are awesome. And if you are a new listener, well, then welcome. Hello. Thank you so much for coming over and lending me your ear. And I promise you are in for a treat today. And hopefully that treat keeps you coming back for more. All right. So let's get into this, guys. All right. So, with today's episode title, But Ma, that's my favorite Halloween movie. Basically, it's movies that I like to watch around Halloween time because I don't know about you, but I know I have certain movies that every time this season comes around or every time this holiday comes around, there are certain movies that pretty much put me in the mood. They enhance the vibe. They make the holiday more better. They enhance the holiday. And so I want to go over some movies today I want to share some movies today that definitely put me in the right mood for this holiday. And so the two movies we're going to be discussing today, actually one of them, I'm going to do something a little different because normally in the episodes, I'll talk about my favorite movie first because I'm so excited to talk about it. I just want to get it out. But I'm going to flip the script. And so I'm going to talk about I don't want to say my least favorite movie because this is a good movie. It's definitely a movie I have to be in a mood for. Like if I'm in the mood to watch it, I'm gonna enjoy it. But if I'm feeling like I have to, then I'm like, ugh, blah. But don't get me wrong, this is a good movie. So I'm just gonna start with that movie, however you want to sum that up. I'm gonna start with that movie first. All right, so lights, camera, action. He said that. He said Dale. Or hold on, did I say that wrong? Dale. He said that. He said that. He said that. Did not come and you won't go home. Okay, so normally I start off with a quote, right? But with this particular movie that we're about to discuss, there's a particular song that's played throughout the movie. So I don't know if it's almost kind of like the theme of it. And this song is actually called Deo. And the lyrics are written by William A. Attaway and Irving Burgee. And it's performed by Harry Belafonte. That name sounds very familiar. But in this moment, let me look it up. Belafonte. I know who this person should be, right? Like, how would I not know? Harry Bela. But, oh, okay. Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. Okay, so he performs that song. And yeah, the movie we're gonna be talking about today is Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Okay, this movie was released March 30th, 1988. The director is Tim Burton, who also directed. Well, he's notoriously directing more of like the darker themed movies. And just to list some, we have Edward Scissorhands, Corpse Bride, Batman Returns, Nightmare Before Christmas. You can go on and on and on about movies Tim Burton has done because he has a huge catalog of movies and he has a particular style. No one, like, a Tim Burton movie by like how the animations look, how the characters look. They mostly have like this kind of pale dead look. But what was surprising about this movie is that, and I forget that Tim Burton directed this movie because it has some, like, there's a little bit of animation in the film, not like animation like cartoon style, but more like claymation, which that's what he is pretty much known for anytime he does anything in that realm of animation. But I forget this is Tim Burton's movie for the fact that it is completely different than his other movies that he has directed. Because normally, like I was saying, most of the characters have like pale skin. They almost look like they're all dead, but they're all alive. But this movie was more of like, it had a warm tone to it, like throughout the film. And it wasn't like this dark, grayish, bluish type of feel. It was pretty much like normal. It was like a normal movie. And so because I know his style, this movie was a little bit different than what he normally did. So Tim Burton directed this movie, if you didn't know. And yeah, some of it has his style in it, but just the overall feel of it is slightly, and I'm talking about as far as how the characters look and how the color of the film, because believe it or not, when they film a movie, they do have someone who's called a colorist. And we're not talking about people who, are all about light skin versus dark skin. No, there's literally called a colorist who goes into the movies and they color it however, like whatever colors or whatever theme that the director, whoever's in charge, most likely it's going to be the director, what they want the audience to feel or what they want these colors to convey based on the mood of the film. And so this one's just kind of average, like you're watching a normal film, not like a Tim Burton film, because he has definitely his own style. Then the writers that we have is Michael McDowell. And I thought what was cool is that Michael, he actually was a writer for the movie Thinner. That's a Stephen King movie. And we know about Stephen King, and he definitely has his own style. And I love that movie Thinner. I don't think that's one of Stephen King's most popular movies, but I know for sure that I watched that movie. I enjoy that movie. And you know what? Speaking of this season, it makes me want to go ahead and watch that movie because it's like a thriller. Then Michael also wrote an episode from Tales from the Crypt, okay? And the specific episode that he wrote was called Lover Come to Hack Me. Now, I get confused because there's like Tales from the Crypt and there's the Creep Show, okay? And I remember Creep Show, I love the Creep Show. Like, that is my jam. Me and my sister, we love that series. In particular, I love the first season. I don't know if it goes by season. Yeah, it goes by season because there's different like episodes. But I don't know if it's like kind of like a movie but with different episodes in it. No, actually, I think it's a movie. It's not like a season. Okay, yeah, hopefully I'm not confusing y'all because I'm confusing myself. But anywho, they're kind of similar styles because they tell multiple stories. But I think Tales of the Crypt was like, or Creep Show is just like a movie with multiple stories versus Tales from the Crypt is actually like a series. But anywho, so he did that. And then we have another writer. His name is Warren Scarron. And he also was a writer for Batman. and for Top Gun. So kind of like full circle thing. Like you can tell that these two writers meshed well with, more than likely the script was either written with the director, like already pinning, like I want this in mind, or it could have been written before, but it definitely seems like they have kind of similar styles or similar backgrounds to what Tim Burton, made with Beetlejuice. So it all worked out. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into the summary here. So we have a young couple, Adam, played by Alec Baldwin, and Barbara, played by Gina Davis, okay? And I love me some Gina Davis because I've seen some other movies that she's in. There's this one movie that sticks out in my head, League of Our Own, which I want to do that one on a future podcast episode. And I know there's another movie I know her from, but just in this moment, I can't think of it. And to be honest, I think maybe I really know her from Beetlejuice. I think this could have been the first movie I ever seen her in. But anywho, this couple is about to go on a 2-week vacation, and they are super excited about it. And pretty much instead of going somewhere, they're actually planning to stay at home. So a staycation. Don't get me wrong. I actually love me a staycation. I will get off from work and stay my butt at home and not go nowhere. Hopefully not spend a lot of money because, you go on vacations, it's cool and all, but it's just the preparation for it. You got to make sure you have enough money for this, enough money for that. Make sure you have enough outfits. Make sure you have your plane tickets. Make sure, you get to the airport on time. Make sure you packed everything that you need to pack. And it's just a hassle. And if I could just stay at home, that would be like the ideal vacation. And I know I've actually done that a couple times. All right. So yeah, they're going to be going on this vacation, which they're going to be staying home, and they have hopes that they will not be disturbed by anyone. So they're not currently like on their vacation yet, but I think it's probably going to start that next day or something. And so what we gather from this couple is they're happy, they're in love, it's just them two, and they're just having a good old time in this nice, big, cozy house that they have for themselves, okay? Now, before they get to go on vacation, because this is what they're talking about the whole time in the beginning, like, oh, we get to go on vacation, we get to do this, we get to do that, but we're going to be staying home, we're going to chill, it's going to be a good time. And so I guess it's like the town's real estate agent. She like comes by the house, and you can tell that she regularly does this because when they hear, I think they look out the window because they hear like a door slam, and they hear a doorbell, or I forgot, it was one of those things, but they know it's her. Okay. And this real estate agent, her name is Jan, and because she frequently comes to the house, they kind of have this thing where, okay, you go and pretty much try to get her to go away, and then I'll go the next time. And they just go back and forth taking turns because it's a lot to deal with her. And so they're just like, we'll be fair and just each take our turns at doing that. So this real estate agent comes over, and she makes it very apparent that this couple should sell this house. And she tells them that there was this guy who made this offer on the house by just seeing the picture. And Barbara's like, don't send pictures of our house to people. Like, first of all, I agree with her, because why are you, this couple obviously is not willing to sell their house. So why are you sending pictures of their house to just strangers when it's not even on sale? Like, first of all, you are breaking so many boundaries, and I don't know if it's it's probably against the law. You can't sell someone's house. Like, what the freak is wrong with you, lady? And then to add insult to injury, Jane makes it clear, like, this house should be meant for like a family with children. And at this point, I'm not sure if Barbara can have kids or not, because that comment actually stings. And it's apparent on her face, like it goes a little, like some sadness goes over her face, where she's kind of like, dang, yeah, we really don't have a family, but this is our house at the end of the day, so I don't need you selling it. And so, pretty much, Barbara, shoos her, gets her to leave out of the house because we don't got time for that. We're trying to be on, vacation, good vibes only type of ish. Okay. So she Hello, everyone. This is Beetlejuice. Sorry to interrupt this episode, but I just wanted to let you know that you were only listening to a preview. So if you would like to listen to the rest of this episode, then you can definitely go to the website, butmathat'smyfavoritemovie.com, or you can go directly to any of these platforms for the full episode. We are available on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Castbox. Please don't hesitate to follow the podcast on any of those platforms so that you can be notified anytime a new episode is available. If you didn't know, our primary release day is every Thursday, but be on the lookout for bonus content as well. Now, if you've listened to the But Ma, That's My Favorite Movie podcast before, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. So if you have a friend that loves movies like we do, then definitely go ahead and share this podcast with them. And if you're a new listener and you do end up enjoying the podcast, well, then you go ahead and share with a friend too. Also, don't forget to like any of our social media pages so that you can also get updates and regular information about the podcast and about any of the episodes that are coming up. The social media sites that we have a presence on are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And also, if you want to leave a review, whether constructive or positive, we'd appreciate that too. All right, go ahead and get over to one of the other platforms so we can finish getting into the rest of these movies.